Hello! Welcome to another episode of Western Adventures. Today, we're out here visiting this very creepy abandoned ranch. What I like to call these are ghost ranches. We're out in the middle of nowhere, it seems, in Arizona here. And there's a lot of stuff to check out. So let's get started and see what we can find. So as I was pulling in, there is just stuff everywhere. This looks like one of those ranches that you see in a horror movie. This ranch was purchased in 1984 for water rights. The owners had to show land use in order to keep those water rights. So what they ended up doing is they leased it back to the original owner, who continued to deal with cattle and grow crops and stuff. In 1995, this place was actually transferred to the Phelps Dodge Freeport McMoran Mine Company, and then they agreed to keep water in the river in exchange for wells in another area near a mine that they were working. And then that's when this ranch probably became abandoned, and it's sat since. So let's see, we have a modular home here. We have a longer building there, we have a small building there, we have a building there, we have a building there, and we have a building there, and of course you have numerous pieces of equipment, farm implements, and trucks on the property. So let's get started with this one first. I mean, when I say we have everything, we have everything. I mean, look, we got these nice rubber boots. A lawnmower. Miscellaneous parts and pieces of equipment. There's just everything here. So when this place became abandoned, they literally just left it all here. And of course, over time, this place got ransacked by vandals and stuff like that. Okay, let's go inside here. A lot of military planes flying around today. So I wonder if this was some sort of office here. We have all these lights, and there's obviously phone lines over there. That's an older brand of Got a closet here. Not much in this one right here. See the two planes up there. Okay, let's check out this building here. So you're seeing these boots. These were boots that were probably worn by the ranchers when they were out in out working. There were pairs of them everywhere in here. Another lawnmower. Here's some shoes here. So I wonder if this was maybe housing for the employees, maybe. This was starting to fall apart here. There's a bathroom in here. There's old liquor bottles in there. Yeah, so this was obviously either the housing for the ranchers. You can see remnants of an old shag rug here. So there's a lot of 80s, you're seeing a lot of 70s and 80s stuff around here, since this is around the time the ranch closed. So all these were probably individual units out, if I can take a guess. That's a nice old 80s stove. beautiful. Look at that. They don't make them like that anymore. Nice colors. Everything all now is just grays and whites, and so you have a microwave and a stove and an oven. That's like all, it's like a 3-in-1 unit. Got a tumbleweed in the corner. This was for the HVAC right there. These are heaters right here. Now, just because we are in a desert doesn't mean it's warm. It does get cold out here. Well, each building had heat and AC. In the 80s today, which isn't bad. Nice temperature. You can see people have been shooting in here. So these are smaller rooms here. Another interesting old stove here. This one is a Magic Chef. I believe that company is still in business. Looks like they rolled the carpet up over there. And here's the bathroom. Complete with wood paneling and everything. I love it. I think I missed a room over here. We gotta go back. Probably just another bathroom. Yes. It's quieter now that those jets are gone. Yeah, it's quite the small dryer. That's a small drum. Here's a... I'm not too sure what this building was. You can tell there was maybe another building here at one point. This might have been maybe like a garage of some sort. That could have been the ramp. Maybe. But I'm not seeing anything here to indicate what it could have been. I do see some pallets in here. Could have been storage for something. Let's get a look at this big thing over here. Another stove, well, part of it. So this would hook onto the front of your to the back of your tractor. And there would be other wheel would be attached to this one. This is a three-wheeled, 3 wheels in the front. Marvin Land Plane, Trip Lane 30. This actually kind of looks like an old grader road. Because it has the big scoop plow thing right here, so we did pull it. I wonder if this is what they use to make roads around here or clear land for some reason. Got the hydraulic rams. They have to lift this thing up or down depending on what they needed. Then there will be, of course, more wheels in the back here. Oh, there's another little house here that I didn't see when I pulled in. Let's go check this one out. We got a sun porch. It's nice screened in. Oh, pink on the inside, pink on the outside. The tree branch completely fell through the roof here. This is a small little, got your kitchen here. And there's probably a bathroom in here, I would assume. Yep, there was a bathroom right here. That's Quite the small toilet, actually. I'm not seeing a bedroom in here. This is just a kitchen, a bathroom, and a big open area. I wonder if this is where they prepare all the meals for the ranchers. Sometimes it's hard to tell what they could have used it for, so it's just best to take a guess. They definitely used it for something. They got some 80s and 70s era design on the screen door right there. That's pretty cool. Got some palm trees out here. Oh, it actually smells very nice around here. I think it's all the, pretty sure it's mesquite trees. I think these are them, but I'm not sure. Or it's those. They're everywhere. Definitely a nice smell out here among all the abandonment. Let's see if we can go in through this side over here. Yes, you can. Got a couch, a hide bed. This was a nice room at one point with all the wood paneling. So I didn't get it on film when I pulled in here, but there are wild burros all over the place around here. And when they saw me get out of my truck, they walked the other direction, unfortunately. But we'll see if we can find some that aren't too shy. Yeah, this must have been real nice at one point. Another Magic Chef Chateau. Oven, stove, and microwave combo. Yeah, a nice brown color. There's another look at that. Look at that nice rounded doorway. That's pretty cool. Another room. I wonder if this was the main house. This thing's nice. I can still feel the carpet under my feet right here. Another room. And pretty big bathroom. Nice little refrigerator. Key to better living. Stuff is just so classy back then, you know? They had a nice symbol up there, nice slogan, cool handle. Yeah, I definitely think the 80s were better. Here we got 2 trucks. This one is either a Ford Ranger or a Chevy S10. Oh, yep, it was an S10. Little 4-cylinder. I'm guessing this was late 80s, early 90s. I can tell by the dash. There, you can hear the burros out there. And then we got an F-250. Pretty sure this was a diesel. There are your injectors. Or maybe it was a gas. I'm not really too familiar with Fords. I mean, I'm a Chevy guy, as you can see. Ah, it was a manual. If anyone knows if this was a Power Stroke or it was just a big block, let me know in the comments. I'm trying to see if I could get an ID or a tag somewhere that will say what it was. I'm betting towards gas. So this building was the power generating building for the ranch. Here's a big generator trailer right here. Oh, someone hung up an alien here. You're a long way from Area 51, buddy. Wow, look at all these tumbleweeds in here. Here's the where all the tools and everything were in here. You got all sorts of stuff in here. You got oil filters and fittings and spark plugs. Distributor cap. Here's one still in the box. An old pyrolator. Here you got a air filter. Here you got an old fan belt. You got everything in here. The generating house and machine shop and maintenance shed. So this was a pretty big ranch. So it makes sense they would have all this in one spot. You know, I'm actually kind of glad I'm doing this in the day. Like I said, this is a pretty just creepy looking place, you know. Old cars and creepy looking old buildings. So it will be quite a different scene at nighttime. Let's go over here. Oh, here we got some more machinery related stuff. Here's an old trailer of some sort. Head gasket right there. Some sort of a motor or something there. Tires everywhere. There's a tongue jack for a trailer. Bolts and nuts, hoses. Here's an old bench grinder. Belts. U-joint. So this is probably more of the machine shop than that was. Yeah, you got parts. You got parts everywhere in here. John Deere. You can even say they labeled everything. Cables, horns, something hydro something. There's a whole head right there. Let's see if we can get some burrows on film here. I definitely heard them. They went off in this direction when I pulled up. There's a water tank, tower. More junk everywhere. This place was probably a little neater in the 80s when it closed down. And then it got trashed pretty quickly. Here's an old combine. This thing's cool. It's pretty much intact for the most part. Still got the motor. Wonder if this was a 4-cylinder or a V8. Yeah, I think it's an old 4-cylinder. Steering wheel's gone. These must be the throttle control. Gear shift maybe. L for low. Here's the speed right here. Let's give you one more look at this creepy, probably the creepiest abandoned ranch I've ever seen. It definitely gives off strange vibes. But it's not too bad during the day, but